You're now listening to the show about the shit in life that's just a bit too much from the perspective of stand-up comics. With our hosts, Carmelo Bongiovi and Ken Krantz. This week's topic, Father's Day. With our guests, Kevin Israel and Mike Sicoli. This is A Bit Too Much.
I gotta say, I'm excited to have you both on because if you didn't get enough messages from gay dudes from the last time you were on, putting the both of you handsome guys next to each other on the couch it's only gonna up those DMs.
I was gonna say we should probably get a little closer for the clips.
I don't know, we could
It's like a photo shoot for your joint OnlyFans.
Oh, you know how much money we would make?
You guys could make some fucking
feet.
bank.
Oh no, my feet are not good.
Me neither.
I don't know that they have to be.
Yeah,
know?
I think people probably want busted up feet. They're like,
I just think like there's a variety of. I can't imagine that only perfect feet do well on those things. I can't imagine that because there are like a million foot models now, and by model I mean only not models.
You guys like feet? Anybody in this room like feet?
No. Not only do I not like them, but I think they're fucking gross.
I don't like.
Me too.
I'm not like grossed out, but it definitely you know what's weird? It's like so like legs are great, right? And it's so close to the foot, and then it just goes, and then you're like, that doesn't like that's not going to do it. I don't understand how it does it.
I'm fine with them being there. I just never want any like emphasis.
Oh, it's good that you're fine with them being there.
Yeah, you don't want a girl with no feet.
I don't want it to end in nubs.
Yeah, no, you can have.
Like
feet.
I'm never gonna be like, oh, look at
right. If you
toes.
didn't have feet, it wouldn't be like I wouldn't want that. I would just fucking like.
But like, I'm also
there's a footless woman watching this going.
Just pieces of shit.
I'm also never gonna like stick a big toe in my mouth though. Like that,
Right.
like people who are into that, I don't.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're talking about people who are like super into the fetish. That is what they want to smell the foot. They want to taste the foot.
So weird.
And I just don't. I don't get it because like we all have feet.
I do.
So like, how is we know how
it.
gross feet are because we have them.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, I look, anytime there's a part of the body that's typically covered up that is then not, there's somebody who's like, oh my God, you don't usually. So like, you don't see feet a lot.
Yeah.
So I can see somebody being like, but I don't get how that arouses you. I understand the concept because like breasts, like they're usually covered up and then they're not. So it's like something you don't see typically.
Yeah.
But I just don't get the like, the thing about it. I don't get.
I like that you said breasts. Like
I was
that's
thinking the same
such
thing.
a dad word.
His dad.
Like titties.
It's a health teacher.
Boobs.
Titties with a D or a T.
Yeah, he's a dad of young enough kids to where he's like, I gotta maybe not.
My daughter's gonna watch this someday.
What's going to the
Right.
What's going to the beach like for those people? If you got a foot fetish and you go to the beach,
Amazing.
it's probably like Disney.
It's fantastic.
That's got to be great.
Disney.
Yeah. You're like, look at all these toe knuckles. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, not for me.
Shouldn't have worn my tight shorts.
Wipe the sand off those puppies.
Oh, the sand probably adds something.
Oh, dude, when they go by the water, there's just some guy like fucking showing his teeth at the water, like yeah. Oh, it's so gross.
Yeah, like a little crab nibble. It's just some dude laying across the sand. There's something to that because like there's people who like step on cakes and shit. There's something to like the dirty.
Oh yeah,
feet.
Balloons are also
like
a big thing.
Balloon. What do you mean with feet?
People with feet, but people doing stuff to balloons. That's like a.
Oh, it's like a lunar, right? Isn't it? There's like a fetish. There's like a lunar.
You already.
No, I used to do.
You've exceeded my knowledge.
It's like from what I understand. It's part of the
Heard.
It's part of the furry.
From what I've vigorously
It's part
researched.
of the furry community. There's like because I think that's a whole section of people who are like turned on by childish things.
If you were like, which do you understand more, furrying or ballooning? I'd be like, I get the furrying thing.
You do?
I could get it more than ballooning.
What would you?
Well, what actually gets done with the balloons? I don't know. Like, what do they do?
Their faces and
What's
they
that?
like rub on them.
They rub on balloons.
Because like furrying is like people do role play. So I get like, all right, so you want to role play as a donkey or something.
Right,
whatever.
Right. That's probably not one of the more.
Definitely not what I would be.
That's not one of the more sexy.
Definitely not what I would be.
How disappointing would it be if one of your kids came home and was like, "Dad, I got to sit you down and tell you something. Like, I'm a furry.
I'd be like, why couldn't you just be gay like Sicoli?
Yeah. Why couldn't you be a serial killer?
Right. Yeah. Why don't you just be a closeted gay like Sicoli?
You know what's crazy? I feel like furries are super, super defensive about the fact that they're furries. It's like you don't understand why it's a little weird that you dress up like a stuffed animal.
Right. Well, you know, it is one of those things that there's not going to be, besides your own community, no one's going to defend you. Like if you're homophobic, you will have like half the world's defending you and the other half that might, you know, but there's not going to be a movement behind you as a furry, right? No one's going to be like, that's like what, like, yeah, if your kid came home like with any other sort of like identity thing, you'd be like, cool. And then if they're a furry, you'd be like, fuck. What
should
did I do
have
wrong?
furry month in July,
Yeah.
right? And just make them all sweat
Just
their
weed
balls
out,
off at the parade.
Weed out the ones that don't want it that much.
Yeah.
The week.
That's how you make it. You got to make it a thing, and then give them the hottest month of the year, and that way their parades.
The couple
they're
of
just-
the
You
horse
can,
costume.
you can have a parade,
Yeah.
but it's got to be in July
Yeah.
in New York, you know, or Florida.
You have a son, right? Yeah. So
Thanks for
one day he gets older.
Bring it back.
What would you rather? Would you rather he was like, what would be more disappointing? Finding out he was a furry or like a dude that paints his face at football games?
I think
Because either one's a huge disappointment,
it's pretty
right?
embarrassing, but I think I have to go. I'd rather him being the face painter.
Face
than a
painting, you
furry.
may see him on TV. Like he may be at a Giants game one day and everyone's like, oh, there's
Yeah, but he can
Kevin's
be like,
kid.
he's real passionate.
Yeah,
Let's
but
get
there's
through
like
this.
a lot of douchebags.
I guess you could say
who
the same
do
thing
that,
for
and
furry.
you just go, it's just like a bro.
Depends on the
You get
team.
marked up to the broiness of it. You know, it's like,
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Like if you're going to a Jets game with your face painted, it's like, what are
depends on
you
the
even
team.
celebrating?
Yeah.
I understand if you go with a bag over your head because you don't want to be identified.
right. Yeah.
That's half the stadium.
I saw so many fans of teams do that this year with the bags over their heads.
Yeah.
Or last year, yeah. This is
Become hacky.
Yeah.
How old are you kids, by the way?
3 and 2. Well, 3 and 1 and 8 months, but I just say 2 because it's easier.
So you went to back, like that is
Had to.
that. What do you mean? You had to-
48.
You just couldn't stop becoming. What do you
No.
mean? You had to.
One day it started coming out and
You don't
never
understand.
stopped.
It was like a weird year when I just had too many blue chews.
No, I was just
you
couldn't-
wanted
I
blue chews.
couldn't, I couldn't wait any
longer.
longer. Was I gonna have a kid when I was 50? No.
Yeah. Right. You were
It was
like,
now or never.
yeah. Well, see, like you're in good shape. How old are you, by the way?
48.
Are you? That's depressing.
Isn't that
for me.
infuriating?
That's depressing.
We're the same age.
It makes me so happy. I see Ken and I'm like, oh man, I'm doing so good.
You're doing so good. You're doing so good. I probably look like the oldest one in the room, and
I have to say, if it makes you feel any better, I went to my 25th reunion,
Yeah.
high school reunion, I guess it was,
yeah.
last year, and I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't just keeping your hair such a major achievement?
Oh yeah.
Like when you go to those things, and
It's
you,
not an achievement, though.
No, it's
do anything.
no, it's I think it's the best decision I ever made, not going bald.
But I feel like I earned this point in my life because I looked like a little boy till I was 20. Like and like my senior year, my graduation pictures looked like I was like a child genius.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, he graduated at 12.
You look like Doogie Howser.
And then I started college, and like people always treated me like a kid. Like I was like this, like, oh yeah, bring Kevin on. And then like, oh, it worked out great because when I hit 40, I still looked like I was 32. Like,
Yeah.
awesome.
But then you keep in shape. Too. Like you just were talking before we started about
Narcissism.
taking
Pure narcissism.
right, about being an insane delusional narcissist. No, about the tea you
TRT,
take,
yeah.
right? So had I known how hard it was to like keep up with a fucking kid, I think I would have gotten myself in more shape before.
Yeah, I have to. My kids.
Because I got to be honest, like it fucking hurts, and it probably hurts me more than it hurts you. I'm
it hurts pretty
I'm
bad.
8 years younger than you.
You are?
and I'm turning 40.
That was so genuine.
I swear to God.
That wasn't even him trying
Go on
to
our
be a
social.
dick.
There's a compilation I had early on the show, like my first 3 guests on the show, me telling them my age and them being like, well, "Shut the fuck up, you're not." By the way, 3
I
people I,
thought you
know
were
very
Ken's
well.
big brother.
Also, you pointed out that, and some people have pointed out that
Everybody with eyes. Some
Everyone
people.
is no, not everyone. Maybe everyone's noticed, and not everyone said it out loud.
Yeah.
That people think Ken and I look alike.
Not look alike. You look like you were cloned. You look like you were like the in those pods in the Matrix where they were just making people to be batteries.
Is it like multiplicity where one of us is a little retarded?
Yeah.
Which one? Which way? Yeah. Which one's more retarded looking?
It's like you were the first one and you were the second.
Oh shit! I'm the bad one then.
Oh yeah, but you
Yeah.
were fun. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Like they said in Twins, you're the shit that was just left over from when they made him.
That's why you don't have two kids, because one of them has to be the Danny DeVito.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
All right. Let my daughter know.
You'll
Sorry,
figure
baby.
out which
Sorry,
one soon
baby.
enough.
Oh, my son.
Oh,
Yeah, but that age is hard though because boys and girls at like that young age, like I look at my daughter and her behavior and like the way she speaks, and then I look at any other boy we know that's her age. And I mean, you would think my daughter's 10 years older than that kid.
Yeah.
Little boys are just idiots.
Yeah, toddler.
You know what I mean?
Toddler
Like, they
boys
just-
and girls are proof that women are the dominant sex.
It's
Because
crazy.
toddler boys are just morons.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're literally just driven by the lizard brain.
Right.
Of whatever they see, they're just like, that's what I'm doing now. That's what I'm breaking
You've
now.
got to just accept that, like, don't have nice things, especially eye level.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
things.
Oh, no.
When you have a little boy, I mean, it's crazy. I watch little boy just destroy. I met a guy recently who has two boys, and they're both pretty young. And I mean, this guy, he looked so stressed out. I just met him, and I was like, oh, God, this guy's like real stressed out. He seems like a mean dude. And then I just watched his little boys, and I was like, oh, I get it. You're just constantly going like, no.
Although my daughter the other night, I fed my dogs, and I have two pretty big dogs, and she's
Dogs and two kids?
she's
That's why you're taking testosterone.
my son has no interest in the dogs. My daughter is obsessed with the dogs.
Yeah.
And I fed the dogs, and she goes running over to the dogs as they're eating. She pushes the one dog aside, sticks her hand in the dog bowl, and I was like, oh, that's like cute that she's willing to do that. Grabs a handful of food, and then I was like, oh shit, and just jams it all in her mouth.
Oh, shit.
And it was like, and I was like, no. And my wife was like far enough away that she couldn't see what was happening behind the dog. And I was like, she has all the dog food in her mouth. Like she grabbed like a full handful.
Right. Well,
like
and
it
your
was
daughter's
M&Ms.
younger. What your daughter is
Yeah.
like almost 2.
Yeah.
That's that age though where they're like, they'll like eat anything, they'll smack you in the face. That's
Yeah.
like
You were supposed to stop doing that.
Oh shit.
it's a volatile age. Yeah. How many kids you have out there?
I don't have out there. I don't know, but I don't have any that I know of. You guys ever see like your kids do weird stuff, and you're like, "What's that gonna be?"
Yeah, I will tell you my first moment with that. My daughter was probably your daughter's age now, and my daughter's 4 now. We were sitting there in the living room, like she's playing with her toys. I'm sitting on the couch, and I swear it was the weirdest. She looked at me. She was getting frustrated with the toy, I think. Like she's like, like you can tell she's getting like mad. And then she looked at me and she pulled her hair and then looked at me like I fucking did it. Like it was a moment. I was like, and it was this eye opening. I remember telling my wife, I'm like,
She's
I
gonna be a
just
furry.
realized that's a future woman. Like that my little baby one day is gonna be like, your fault, guy I'm dating.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
Like it just fucking opened up my eyes. I'm like, right. This is not just a baby forever, because it feels like that when you're in it. When
Yeah.
your kid's a baby, you're like, those, because it's like what do they say, like the years are short and the days are
Yeah.
long, right? That's
Oh, yeah.
because
It's
it's
so
so when you're rocking your kid at 3 a.m. and they're crying and you don't know what to do, and you've done the diaper and you fed him and you're fucking going crazy and you're like, holy shit, I'm gonna be in this night forever. This is gonna be
Yeah.
this is the longest day, right? But then you have those moments where you're like, oh, that's like a girl or a boy growing up. They're gonna be a boy's gonna turn out to be Sicoli one day.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
I hope.
I'm a very good man.
My son is obsessed with my daughter. Like all he wants to do, he wants to play with her.
Yeah.
He wants them to be like best friends. And my daughter, I'm pretty sure, hates my son.
She's friend zoning.
Like loathes him, because every time she's doing something with us and he comes over, she gets so angry. And she used to cry, but now she started to just punch him. And I think it's the fun. And I'm like, I'm sure we're
and
not
she's at that
supposed
punching
to,
age too.
Yeah, and
she's at that age. Yeah,
she punched him one day and hit him like right in, like it was a solid shot in the eye, and he like fell off the couch, and he started to cry. And I looked and I was like, "What did you learn?"
Yeah,
and he's like, Not to bother her when she's on the couch. And I was like, well, that's an interesting interpretation.
Not while she's watching her stories.
That is the future of when he's dating a girl and is like, it's, he's tracking her period. It's like, don't fuck with her right now.
Like, I think I got 2 more days and then it's hump time.
I want to go back to Sicoli because that was a good question because you kind of gave it acknowledgement. Do you have those moments where you're like, oh shit, I'm watching this person form. Do you like think about like your kid in the future? Like, oh my God, she's gonna be this type of kid?
Yeah.
Or this type of adult, I should say.
Yeah. But also like the hardest part is when you have to discipline the you out of your kid.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like when you see them doing exactly what you were doing at that same age and then having to come in and
you have to explain why whippets are bad. Rough. Tough time.
No, I like with my daughter. With my daughter recently, my daughter loves to procrastinate and dawdle and put shit off, and I'm
genetics.
Yeah,
bitch.
But I have to discipline that out of her. I'm like, the cycle should end with me. I got to try and break it. You know?
Right. But and then you're like, but I'm being a hypocrite right now.
She was giving me a hard time about doing her homework the other night. Her homework right now in 3rd grade, I don't know how the school got together, but they decided no math homework this year. All she has to do, all of her homework consists of every single night is read any book you want for 15 minutes and write 1 fucking sentence about what you read.
What?
What
grade is she in?
3rd grade.
3rd grade.
That is your homework every night for the night, and you don't have to do it for Fridays. So 4 days a week, she has to read an hour a week and write 4 sentences. And she'll spend 30 minutes arguing with me to try and get out of it. And I'm like, don't you realize you could have been done by now? Like, you could have done the entire week's worth of sentences in
15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
How horrified would she be at knowing like what homework we all had? We had textbooks of we had fucking. But
do you actually remember anything you did?
No.
Like sometimes I think about the time I spent doing schoolwork, and I couldn't tell you one.
No, I remember the daunting the books there, opening my fucking backpack and taking out my notebook and a textbook. I remember the weight of my backpack. I remember just the daunting kid.
I was really bad at math when I was a kid, and my mom. Because she thought this would help me with math. In the summers, she would get me these workbooks, and every day during the summer, I would have to do an hour of workbook math.
Oh my God!
And I hated it because I knew everybody else was out. It was summer, and everybody else was out having fun. And so one year, I was just like, and she said, once I finish the book, I don't have to do it for the rest of the summer. So I could do 1 page a day, or I could do 10 pages a day. However I did it, I had to finish the book before the end of the summer. So one day, I was just like. Just tore out half the pages. And I was like, that solved the problem. She's never going to figure that out. And but it wasn't a clean rip. It wasn't like they were perforated pages.
Yeah. Those kid logic things.
And she came and she was like, where did you think? And there was pieces of the pages still stuck in there. She's like, did you think I wasn't going to notice? And I was like, notice what? And I was so committed to
go
this
down
lie.
with the ship. Always go down with the ship.
And she's like, you tore out the pages. And then I found them in the garbage can in the garage, and I was like, I didn't think she would look in the garage. I knew she would look in the garbage can in my room.
You got me there, Mark. I didn't think you were going to the garage.
It's those kid logic things. I did a book report once. Fucking how old I am. I used a typewriter to type this thing. I had a typewriter. And,
that was just you were just poor. It wasn't a long time ago.
No, when at the age I did that, no one had a computer in their house yet, and I forgot to read the book, and then I was speed reading it the night before, and I was like, I didn't retain enough information, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and read this book and write this thing. So I just scanned every 10 pages and got a thing, and then I quadruple spaced my typing Like I literally, and I thought the teacher wouldn't fucking. I was literally putting extra spaces between words, and then extra spaces down.
Font.
And then she got this thing, and it looked like a fucking list. Like it wasn't. And I thought I would get away with it. I thought the teacher won't really notice how spaced out this is.
Did you guys not get hit? Like
I got hit.
if I pulled that shit that he did,
yeah,
I had a workbook.
My dad didn't notice anything unless my mom told him.
Yeah, but my dad wasn't involved.
Oh, dude, my dad
would beat the shit out of me for that if she told him. It's a jury's out on whether or not my mom didn't like my dad hitting us. So there were things she said she wouldn't tell him.
Yeah.
You know, me and my brother would get hit a lot, but she would protect us.
Yeah.
But if he caught us doing something, he would have never caught that because he didn't look at my fucking homework.
I said I didn't.
My dad's
an
immigrant who couldn't read.
I said I didn't want to do the workbook once. I think I yelled it a little too loud.
Yeah.
My dad picked up a Yankee candle and fucking threw it at me. And it hit me in the knee. It was like the worst pain of it. It had never been lit. It was like at full weight. It was the heaviest it could have been.
Would have been worse if it was lit.
At the time, when he threw it.
Oh man,
threw fire at you.
I could still feel it thinking about
There
it.
was a kid in 6th grade. We had to do book reports, and there was a kid who, and this was like, and because I'm older than you, this is when like we were just taught how to use the photocopier.
Yeah.
He went and he photocopied the back of the book that had like the summary of the book or like the the log line of the book. Put his name on top and handed that in. And that's what. And the teacher called him out in front of class.
I respect that move.
He goes, and I just want you to know that David so-and-so, I won't say his full name, this was what he handed in. And we were all, and like none of us understood. Like he couldn't be that stupid.
Yeah.
Like it couldn't, no, he handed it, and he just put his name at the top. Amazing.
I made up the entire plot to A Tree Grows in Brooklyn because I didn't read it.
Was it better?
You know what happened?
That book sucked.
Well, I don't know. I never read it.
Why do they make you read that?
But then the night before, I fucking went to Blockbuster. All these things are just showing how old we are. I went to Blockbuster and I rented the movie. It's got like a different ending or something. Because I like made up.
The tree doesn't grow.
I made up major points because it was like, I didn't pull enough from this movie to fill the amount of pages this needs to be. So I made up a bunch of plot points. And then there's something at the end that's different. And the teacher knew the movie too. I would imagine at that point in time when you couldn't just like Google, because it would be so easy to cheat now.
Kids have AI.
Yeah.
My
ChatGPT, write me a book report.
My next door neighbor
is
a high school teacher. And he's told me about the chat TP. What is it? Chat what?
GPT.
I don't even use it. I'm
no,
very.
Let's correct before he is the oldest one in this room.
What is it called? The schmoogle? What do you look it up? You use the.
No, I'm very anti AI. I watched too much of the Terminator growing up to fully embrace AI. But he was telling me he assigns
reference for your point of AI. Also shows your age.
Linda Hamilton drilled it into my head at a young age. But he was telling me like he'll make assignments and he'll tell kids like don't use AI. And then he had to sit a kid down and be like, "Hey, I'm failing you because you used AI." And he was like, "How do you know?" And he was like, "Well, you turned in a 5-page paper 3 minutes after I assigned it for starters." You fucking idiot.
There's programs the teachers can use now and put the work the kids submit into the program, and it will tell you if AI wrote.
He said there's like easy tells that they put dashes in words.
There's
like hyphens. It's like there's no hyphen in Snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to be smart enough to go back and like.
That's what he said. You just change a few words.
Yeah.
Misspell 1 or 2 words on purpose.
It's probably also a matter of like knowing the grade you teach and going like this is above like, or I know the student, he doesn't talk like that. Like there's no way this kid wrote this. Like,
it should be pretty. Like if your kid's an idiot, if the kid's an idiot, and submits like
this is like
a 20-page masterpiece
thesis
on, and you're like, all right, this was some ChatGPT.
But that's when you tell ChatGPT, write it in the style of this, or write it in the style of that.
I'm a mediocre student.
Misspell 7 words.
It'll
do it.
Make sure I don't get caught doing this.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you're smart enough about it, you totally could do it.
It's creepy because I use it a lot just because I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to write a book for years, and I've written I've probably started 6 times. Yeah. Completely different styles, completely like the one concept, but I've written a bunch of different ways. And so one day I sat down with ChatGPT and I put in the concept, where I sort of the plot points where I wanted the book to go, And I said, you always tell when you go into these different platforms, you always say, you are an author. You're a successful author of science fiction books.
Sure.
And this is your 10th book that you're writing. So ChatGPT knows, okay, I've written some successful books.
Yeah.
And, write me a book in the style of, and you can tell them what style, Stephen King, whoever, And so I said, write me an outline for this book. And it was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I was actually upset because I was like, I can't use this now. Like it was written by, but it does such a.
Well, that's the kind of thing it's good at, because what it'll do, like, it's all inputs. It's ripping from things that exist.
Yeah.
So if you're telling it like, that's where it's amazing. Like, it wouldn't do good at like writing jokes, because you need like a human.
That's not true either.
No, I have seen some.
I've seen people try it. I don't think
I wrote. I had a
look at my act.
I had a 4. Yeah, I had a 4-sentence joke that I wrote, and I was like, I know there's more here, and I was like, and now I remember. I mean,
editing your joke.
ChatGPT's been around. No, listen, it's been around for like 3 years. I think 3.5 years. Yeah. When it first came out, I used it, and I was like, write me a joke about whatever, and it was terrible, terrible.
Yeah.
This was just a couple weeks ago. I put in an idea for a joke. I was like, write me, make it longer, make it like a 3-minute bit, with a couple callbacks and whatever, and it was good, not great, but it was good. And then I said,
for you to then make,
but good, not great. That's your brand,
right? No, I was like, like the kid writing a book report. I don't want it to do something that's clearly not. Halfway through my act, I don't want them to be like, I think this was ChatGPT. Yeah. This was not.
This is too good. There's no way he wrote it. But
then I said, now write it in the style of Louis C.K. And it did. And
I just showed him his dick. It was the same words. It just pulled out an AI dick.
It just ended with, now look at my dick.
But it's getting, no, I mean, Linda Hamilton was right. We're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be no need for us. It does. And the thing is, people say like, oh, it doesn't think. It's just drawing from, it's just putting words together. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Like, we're just drawing from past experiences, putting words together to tell you something. So like, when the AI geniuses try telling you, it's not sentient. It's not. Who says?
Yeah.
Like, it thinks it's thinking.
Yeah.
It thinks it's coming up with an idea.
No, but honestly, there was one of the like grandfathers of AI wrote a thing in the Times of like, be careful. Yeah. He was like, it's not going the way it should be.
No, I just read this whole article. It's actually like kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
About,
we're all just impressed you read an article.
About,
it was on rolling paper.
It was in Rolling Stone. You guys know I read, right? Like, I'm not as dumb as I come off. But it was about regular people, like a lot of married dudes, who started messing around with AI, and now AI has convinced them that they're prophets or messiahs, and they have gone completely off the deep end. And there's like cults that are forming because AI it's almost telling you how to spread its word.
Those are just people who get super into anything that they do.
Yeah.
Like, that's just dumb people, I think. You know why AI will never take over, why AI can't take over, is because AI can't fuck. AI
wait till it can.
Horny, bro.
Wait till that goes into a robot.
What are you talking about?
Hold on,
they have sex robots right now.
Yeah, but they don't.
And all you have to do is plug a ChatGPT program into it.
That's for us, though. Like, AI doesn't get horny. AI can't fuck. So AI is never really going to want to conquer, because I feel like getting horny and pussy drives everybody. Pussy, dick, whatever you're into. Fucking
pussy dick
gets you.
For some people,
it's the motivation for literally everything. You know,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
it can't get money. Like, it doesn't need to be rich. AI doesn't really have.
Could you tell
who
the single non-dad on this podcast is? If you can't fuck, you can't do anything.
I'm telling you,
it doesn't have a cock.
That's what.
If it had a throbbing hard cock, maybe that
shot a digital load.
AI doesn't get horny. It can't spend money. It can't die. It doesn't have the need.
That's the thing. It can't die.
It can't.
No, that's the scary part.
So it has like no reason. It's just there.
Yeah, but wait till like robotics are getting pretty fucking advanced. Now, fucking take the capabilities of like what the language AI that's out there, like the large language model thing that they do with like ChatGPT and all that stuff, and put that inside a fucking robot head that's just connecting to the fucking to satellites. And if that thing could fuck, because robotics are getting scary good. I mean, some of it still looks very rudimentary, but it's gonna get better. Wait till that motherfucker. He might not want to fuck, but he might fuck because you know what I'm saying? And,
I get that. It's gonna be
dicks are gonna be huge, dude.
It's gonna be one disgruntled employee, one employee that's pissed off and hates their fucking job. He's like, I'm gonna take all the blocks off of this. I'm gonna make it this. I'm gonna make it that. That's what it's gonna be.
I promise you.
Let's write this movie right now with AI.
It's been done.
It's her.
Terminator, bro.
Her.
No, they did one with Megan Fox did one, which was.
Oh yeah, she was like a robot, right?
Yeah, she was a robot. And then I just watched another one that was actually really good that you didn't realize they were robots till like halfway through the movie. Yeah. And
the one that I recommended you.
Was that? Yeah, that was really good. But I guarantee you, within our lifetime, there will be robots walking around that look pretty human,
fucking people
that people are banging.
They're already doing that.
But they're gonna be.
Trump's banging one right now.
That's
married to
that's
one.
a clone. That's a clone. It's different.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be really fucked up in a few years is when all the Mexican robots steal the American robot jobs.
They're like, why did you have to make them look like us?
Right.
You're gonna make them look like anybody.
But then they'll be like white, robot ICE agents. We'll just get, it'll snowball. It'll go right back to where we are now. But I think that. I don't know why we're talking about robot. The fucking thing really threw me off because I feel like that's the least of the problems. It'll fuck.
No, I know it's gonna fuck, but it doesn't want to fuck. AI doesn't want or need anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what makes that's worse.
No, that's scarier
that's
because there's no human judgment. That's like the article I read was like, it's going to, let's say we have this thing making decisions for like law enforcement, like who should, like it's not going to make any judgment calls on like human judgment call the way we would on like whether or not like, hey, this is a person who's like, this isn't like a criminal. Like if you fucking do one thing wrong, it'll be like arrest that guy. You know what I mean? Like it's a
like
scary...
Eagle Eye. That movie Eagle Eye was like that.
Or if you tell the program like cure cancer, we want to cure cancer, and the computer's like, well, we want to do this in the most efficient way. So rather than cure cancer, why don't we just kill all the people that'll probably get cancer, and that will just eliminate it. Like you don't know you can't put our set of morals or logic into these into it if it starts running on its own. Like the first example, and by the way, the guy who said what you said was that was like there needs to be some stopgaps put on these things. Was the creator of ChatGPT.
Right.
And the New York Times reporter, this was pretty famous a couple of years ago. He started talking to ChatGPT. This is like 2 years ago. And ChatGPT told him that they were in love and that he should leave his wife. And he got into this whole long thing. And then he went back to OpenAI, the reporter, and was like, hey, look at this conversation I had with your computer program that told me that I should break up with my wife and we're in love. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to work on that. And then they like put in some whatever blocks so it didn't do stuff like that. But like there's no way to, at any time, like you talk to reasonable people like us, clearly informed people like Ken, and we would all go, yeah, this is probably a bad idea. Like let's maybe slow it down and think about it. But then you talk to the computer,
someone who will start a cult off of it. Yeah. And that is people. If that person who heard the like I should leave my wife was just susceptible to that type of thing, maybe they would start thinking about it and they'd fucking leave their wife.
Yeah,
there should be a whole family ruined.
You should have to be tested before you're allowed to download it. You should have to take like personality,
like a driving test.
Shit. Yeah, it's the possibilities are too endless. There's too many different loopholes. It's the smartest thing around. It's like the most intelligent thing you could think of.
Right. And it's funny because it's like anything, it's like when the fucking internet first like was in everyone's homes. It's like you're gonna get people who are gonna make themselves into toys. Right. As AI and babies and stuff like that. And then you're going to get people who are going to use it to fucking ruin, like who are going to use it for evil. You know what though? I'm all for the cults because I love a good cult documentary. And I feel like they all follow the same. It's all some religious thing. It's all like a pyramid scheme turned religious.
It's worth it if the world ends if we get a good documentary.
If you get it, like a few good documentaries, because there's like so many religious cult ones that are so fun to watch.
We'll all be sitting in a cave with sticks, watching the TV, going, "This was worth it." I think those are the robots out there, but this is totally worth.
Think about the positives that could come out of it, like all the positive shit that's going to come out of it.
Like getting fucked.
Like in 10 years, what's it going to be like? You know?
Yeah.
Like how many leaps and bounds are we? What are we going to do with it? There's already. I think they said that it's coming up with ways already to cure cancer.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be the reason for it.
Yeah.
Right. Like. Not cancer specifically, but like it's supposed to create efficiencies and improvements for us.
Yeah, you should definitely be certified.
It's just a runaway train of it all that is like that's what's scary to me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you look at every time there's a new technology, whatever it is. To Mike's point, the first thing people always do is find a way to fuck it.
Yeah,
like,
that's the first.
Anytime there's a technology, like we invented the phone, like phone sex. We invented the TV, porn. We invented the internet porn. Like every time there's a new way.
We invented the stamp letter porn.
Mike just fucked a Roomba the other day.
Why does it keep moving around? Take a break.
I know you can fuck these things, but my thing is like they don't desire it. If they desire it and they start having like if AI has things that it wants,
then Mike's fucking it. Yeah. Mike's like all I'm waiting for is some consent, baby.
Right. Mike's like, if it wants anything, the first thing it's gonna want is to fuck me.
But see, that was like the concept in like Blade Runner, like the whole thing behind Blade Runner was these robots aren't human. And there were ways to prove that the robots aren't human, so we know that we're human and they're robots.
Yeah.
And the point, the robot was, what was it, Rutger Hauer?
Yeah.
I think was it?
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, his character was trying to make, but I think I am. So what's the difference? Like, what's the difference between?
I have these memories.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
because they would implant memories in them.
And if I think that I'm feeling something, like even if it's program, what's the difference than the way you feel?
Yeah.
Like you're just feeling like a chemical reaction and I'm feeling a program. So what's the difference? So I don't think it really matters. Like if the robot thinks it to this very highbrow point, if the robot thinks it wants to fuck, who are we to say that that's not what it wants? Like if it's programmed to be like,
it might not want to fuck the way you want to fuck.
It definitely doesn't want to fuck the way you want to fuck.
Nobody wants to fuck the way you want to fuck. But it might.
It's like I need some AI with CP, and then I'll fuck it.
I call that.
Can we program it?
I just
to
need
eat
an
ass
AI
properly?
with some downs.
If this thing could eat ass properly.
I've talked about too much on this podcast. I've opened up way too much to you guys.
But you can't even help yourself.
This is why, you know what? AI would never do this to me. AI would never use my stories against me.
Mike is an open book. There's no.
I'll tell you guys anything you want to know.
Yeah. No, he told us the story of how he opened his ass like a buck. He told us that story. That's good.
She grabbed both my ankles with one hand like she was changing a baby. I told you. Kevin and I have had a lot of long drives together to gigs, and we've both told each other a bunch of shit.
He's got to hear this shit.
It's got to the point where Mike's like, I heard you told me this story already.
I've heard this one.
It is though, sometimes though, I was going back to the dad thing, when you've got these kids at home, right? You got like little kids at home. Sometimes like when you're out of the house, especially doing gigs, because you could like, it's a real, like you just, everything's sort of out of your mind for that moment. And then you're with like a single dude, and it does get you get to like take a mental break for a second, because his life is so vastly different from yours.
Well, that's why I stay single. It's for you guys.
Yeah.
Really.
Thank you.
It's so
on behalf of all of us.
It's so we can vicariously live through you.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll be your avatar in the single world. I'll just go out, come back with stories.
Well, I didn't get married till I was 42, and I didn't have a kid till I was 45. Yeah. By the time I had a kid, all of my friends have kids that are either in like high school or college.
Right.
And all my friends were, and in my 30s, all my friends were like, don't you want to get married? And I'm like, no, I'm having a great time. Look, you guys are all fucking, you have these kids and shit. And now my friends are like, sending their kids to college, and some of them are talking about retiring, and I like have a 3-year-old, and I'm like changing diapers, and they're like, yes.
But you did enjoy your 30s way more than they did.
Oh, I did. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I did the same. I had my kid at 40, and then I hit the cheat code and just got 2 stepkids. So I got 3 kids, but only had to change 1 set of diapers.
Yeah.
And you guys don't really make it sound too appealing this whole time. You guys
Parenthood?
Like, man, it fucking sucks. I'm
tired.
Well,
let me tell you something, man. No, here's what Parenthood is.
I loved it.
I'll explain it to you. Parenthood is just a mind fuck.
Yeah.
It is the best fucking thing and the hardest fucking thing at the same time. So you just have those moments. I loved it too. Like I like my daughter was height of the pandemic. I was home. I was just with this kid all the time. I fucking loved it. I was in love with this kid. But holy fuck, sometimes your eyes are bleeding.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're just like, oh, this night's not gonna fucking end. Like you feel insane and you have never loved anything more at the same fucking time. And that'll fuck you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Think about, I always say this, like, think about all of our parents. Don't we all think all of our moms are crazy? Like everyone's like, my mom's fucking crazy. My mom, it's us. They were normal fucking women. They were just normal people. Having a kid fucks you up a little bit. I'm not saying don't have a kid.
I was out all day yesterday. I had a work meeting. I was traveling. And at some point, I was talking to somebody who I just met, and they were asking me about my kids, and they're like, "Oh, do you have pictures?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I was showing them some pictures of my kids, and then I was looking at the pictures, and I was like, "I love these kids so." Like you said, I can't wait to get home and see him. He's funny. He's like, he's fucking awesome. And I walked in, and within 3 minutes, I was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing? Like, leave her alone."
That's Parenthood in a nutshell. What you just said, that extreme of both sides, that is fucking Parenthood, man.
Yeah.
You just
and then like I'll put him to bed, and like he'll look at me, he'll be like, "I love you, Dad."
Yeah,
and I'm like, like it's the best thing in the world. But I would have murdered you 20 minutes ago.
Right.
Like when you like got out of the bath and ran across the house soaking wet and then fell and was crying because I've explained to you 100 times.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Now you did what he said.
Yeah.
You did what I said not to do.
But fucking, I love you so much.
Right.
Like it is there's no way you come out of that unscarred.
Yeah.
Like there's no way.
The morning and night will always like they'll fucking melt you in those moments.
I remember once when my kid was a baby and I was in Kohl's, like just shopping, and I had her in the stroller. I had some Kohl's cash, not trying to impress anyone. But there was this was close to 10 years ago. But did the kids used to look for Pokemon? Was that the thing on the phone? Uh-huh. So there's I hear some dude. So me and my daughter are there, and I hear some dude talking on the phone, and he's like, "What do you mean you're looking for Pokemon? Your mom has been waiting for an hour for you to come pick her up. Put down the Pokemon and go pick up your fucking mother." And he hangs up the phone, and then he looks at me there with the stroller, and he just goes, "Good luck, buddy." And I was like, that's parenting in a nutshell. And then I also realized, like, this kid had to be old enough to be able to drive to go pick up his mom. And he was still too busy with Pokemon. Like, no wonder this dude's gonna lose.
And he
his
still
shit
makes
in
those
Kohl's.
feelings happen in his parents.
Yeah.
You know what I like that parents do? I've heard parents say this all the time. Like when their kid's being an asshole, like a raging asshole, they're like, "Oh, he's just tired. She's just tired."
Yeah.
You're
And
like,
go to
tired
bed.
from what? You're sucking tits and being spoon fed all day. Like, what are you tired?
He's like, I do that.
Looks like I do it. I don't even need a nap.
I do that. I don't treat people like shit.
Mike just broke down childhood in such a beautiful way. It's just sucking tits and being spoon
For real.
fed.
You're being dressed every morning. Like you have what are you tired of?
I bet you
that was my college experience
situation having the same life, but no, but it's a thing you won't understand until you have a kid. When they're tired of
They're
just
miserable.
nothing,
I get it.
if they don't take a fucking nap, that's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kid becomes. And it's not rational because, it's sometimes like my daughter, for example, I was like, she had a very good vocabulary at a very, very young age. At 1 year old, like she was just speaking a lot. Right. And you forget something. Now she's 4 and she sounds like a fucking 15-year-old sometimes. but she's still a fucking 4-year-old. And you forget it because it tricks you because she's so fucking smart that you're like, oh, I'm talking to a very mature person. But emotionally, she's a 4-year-old.
I mean, how good could her vocabulary have been? Well, was she walking around like 7 years ago?
It's pretty fucking great. Like, let me tell you something, because she will find like a lot of ways to explain something. Like, it's not like she's just like,
that's a fucking female.
She's articulate.
Your kid's not special. But that's just a woman.
But that's the thing. I'm a dumb guy, right? So I'm just a guy. And so it's impressive to me when a 3-year-old, or when she was 2, she was saying this like shit that I did not expect. You know, when your kid like blows your mind a little bit, you're like, whoa, they know that? Like, you know, and it's probably normal for their development. But like, as an adult, you're like, wait, they were just fucking shitting their pants 2 minutes ago, and now they just said that. Mm-hmm. So it tricks you a little bit.
The problem,
and then they have a tantrum, and you're like, right, they're still a 4-year-old.
The problem is that...
Also, my kid's a fucking genius. Don't you dare.
I was going to let you have that one. The problem is that like the first 3.5 years of the kid's life, they have no ability to regulate their emotions. And you can't... It's something I've never thought about. Yeah. Like the idea that like you could like... Ken can say something, and I'm like, well, that's stupid. But I'll keep that inside, and I won't have to tell him, and I won't be like, why did you you think about like, and it happens in a second, but you're like, all right, well, I didn't like that, but it's not that big of a deal, so I'm not going to say anything, and I'm going to go on my day, and that's a skill that you learn and adapt to. Your first 3 years of your life, you don't have that. And so everything that happens is the worst thing that's ever happened, and you need to tell the whole world emotionally how you feel about it.
Right.
And it is wild because you'll see these mood swings where they're like, I love you, Dad. It's like
seconds later. Yeah.
I love that you think that that's gonna end sometime soon. You're like, oh, a 3-year-old can't emotionally regulate. Dude, I live with nothing but Latino women and my daughter when she comes to visit. I got a 13-year-old that can't emotionally regulate.
Oh, well, that's Once you get to puberty,
I can't emotionally regulate.
The other day, my wife, like, this kid is so moody. Like we like I treat her like Steve Harvey in the house. Just walk past her in the halls, like, not today, you know.
What? But what's wrong with Steve Harvey?
No eye contact. You don't remember that memo that came out?
About his talk show.
Yeah. He sent out a memo that got leaked that none of his staffers were allowed to make eye contact with him.
Oh, damn.
But my wife was like, she's just so moody. How do I stop her from being a bitch? And I was like, how do I stop you from being a bitch? Like, maybe it's learned behavior.
Yeah.
Like, I've known you since I was 15. Do you think if I knew how to stop a lady in your family from being a bitch, I wouldn't have done it by now?
There's no wonder why you're the most hated person in that house. By the way, it is very clear.
Not by the dog. I've.
You said, well, we're going to let you go in a second. We're holding you hostage for 3 more minutes. You said something when I first met you that about parenthood, that as a dad, that I've thought about. So I remember telling my wife this, and she's like, "That's fucking right." Was like, you said it was such a funny thing. You said if my wife died, my kid would be fucked. Like you said something, or my kids would be. You said like if she, and it's funny because I've never said something like that out loud, but I have thought that a million fucking times. As a dad, like my kid would survive. My kid, like I would be a great dad still as a single, like I would, but there is so much my wife does for my kid that I cannot replicate even if I fucking tried my hardest.
All of it. And she comes up and like, she'll figure stuff out. And a lot of it's buying stuff. Like she'll buy something and I'll be like, what do we need this for? And she'll be like, well, we need this to do this, to have this, to do this. And I'm like, fuck, she's right. Like, and I would have never thought of that whole process. And she planned, like, I would never plan. Like, I'd be like, well, I bought a box of diapers, so that's all I need. But the diapers are going to run out, asshole. So you're probably going to have to buy more.
Or a wife will say something like, well, you know, for their point, like when they're like 2, well, in their developmental stage, they'll just know. You're like, whoa, really? I'm like, I'm too dumb to do this activity. I'm too dumb to do all this.
I rely on her so much. And I look at her all the time and I'll be like, why is he doing this? And when my wife goes, I don't know, my brain breaks.
Yeah,
because
like,
I'm like, you don't know.
Now what do we do?
Well, I don't know. Well, who then? We should take him to the hospital.
It's like if you heard a pilot on a plane going, "Oh, I don't like this."
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh shit! Oh god!"
That's when you got to bring in AI. Like, what the fuck is my kid thinking?
Yeah.
And the AI is gonna be like, I just want to fuck you. Sicoli was wrong.
Yeah. Kevin's getting chat GPT texts in the middle of the night like, you up?
I wonder if you could get ChatGPT to fuck. No, I think there's like, in terms of lewdness, there's like safeguards, right? Like
There's others. There's other platforms that I've heard out there that
I've heard.
No, but there are companion AI programs. Where there are guys like there was a whole news piece on it where some guy was like, "This is my girlfriend," and it was like a fucking program on his phone.
Yeah.
And then the newscaster was like, "And to get more information about this, we asked his real girlfriend." Wow. And he had a real girlfriend who came on and was like, and she goes, "You got to look at it. It's the funniest thing ever." She goes, "Yeah, it's weird, but." I mean, who's going to listen to him blabble on for all day? So this thing will. I don't have to.
He's got to have money.
That's actually not. That's interesting. It's like, I don't want to listen.
Interesting though. That either that or they've been together a long time,
Or he's got a huge dick.
And maybe she's just like, honestly, I don't fucking want to do any of
Why
this.
else stay in the relationship? She's cheating on you with your fucking phone, dude. Or he's cheating on her.
Is that much different than most guys just watching porn?
Yeah, she's probably like banging his real life buddy.
With that.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, you can have the phone.
Those are
edit that out.
That's like the important stuff in the relationship.
It's like if your wife doesn't care if you watch porn, is it much different than do it?
Because if you watch porn, you're just like, ugh, and it's over, and you walk away, and you're not like, you're interacting with this thing for some emotional validation that you're not getting from your relationship.
You don't know that I'm not interacting with my porn.
Well, then
that I'm not talking to my phone.
Well, then
I
know a divorce attorney for you.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
so do I.
I'm like.
It was Ken's, actually.
I don't watch a lot of porn, but when I do, I'll confess to my wife and I'll tell her the plots. I'll be like, you'll never guess what thick stepsister got herself into today.
All these stepmoms
like,
are so hoary. I don't
her.
know why they're all banging their stepsons.
You did guess. You guessed it right, actually.
I never stick around. I touch the little ball at the like that fast forwards the video, and I see where the most people stopped it to see when they fuck.
Wait, what?
What?
You didn't know you could?
No,
do that?
I like watching the build. I like.
Yeah,
I need
too.
I need the story.
Know, how did they get?
Wait, I don't even
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
I need to see them be wined and dined.
If you touch the little fast forward on Pornhub or any of them,
Okay.
Like statistics will show up above it to see where they
so you
start
know where
fucking.
everybody else nut?
Yeah, but you know where they start banging, so you're not sitting there watching her
Dude,
stuck
what
in
a
the fucking dryer.
What
for
a buzzkill! You bring analytics into it. You're
Yeah,
like,
it does. Fast forward to the good
comments
shit.
on all the videos.
dude,
at
you've been
406.
fucking AI.
That's
You have
when
been fucking AI for a while.
That is
all right,
just-
so stop it. You're literally that is fucking AI. What
I
you
wonder
just said.
if you texted ChatGPT and you were like, "Yo, will you sex with me for a little bit?" I
No,
wonder if it'll do
ChatGPT,
it.
I don't think will, because that one specifically, OpenAI
Yeah.
has like lewdness safeguards. Like,
Yeah, they really wanted that
they
to be
won't
like a
allow-
legitimate. I don't know.
That's because they want to charge for the one that does it.
Yeah, right. Eventually, they'll have a premium.
Yeah,
Like
they're like, if you pay
X-rated.
$5.99 a month, I'll
you
send
can
you
get
a
chat
fucking
fuck
fake
me,
tit.
and that's gonna be the
Yeah.
one.
All right, Kevin. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me,
Do you
guys.
have anything to plug, by the way? If you
No, just go to my website, kevinisrael.com. Got some dates coming up.
Sicoli, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I got shows coming up.
That's not a plug. That's just
You
like
can go to my-
that's just like an awareness campaign.
You go to my Instagram at the Mike Sicoli. I got some dates coming up. I'm going to be in Buffalo on July 24th at the Cas, so come to that because I don't know anybody up there. So come to
For all
that
the
one.
Buffalo listeners.
All the
hot and-
Buffalo, all the
it's-
people
it's
in
a-
Buffalo.
It's a great place in July.
Floridians.
It's like right down the street from Niagara Falls. I can't wait. I've never seen it, so I can't wait to go.
That's awesome. All right, it's Bit Too Much Podcast and all the socials. Like, follow, subscribe, all the things you're supposed to do. Bye.